Hi, I'm Tulsa Mayor G.T. Bynum. You know, throughout our history as a city, one of the things that has set Tulsa apart is that we have endured challenge after challenge, being a city that's in Tornado Alley, being a city that's subject historically to flooding and ice storms, being a city that is reliant on a boom and bust industry historically. We know what it means to face challenges, but maybe not necessarily all in one year, like we did in 2020. But the thing that separates us from just having these things happen to us is that we find ways to pull together and still get things done in spite of all of the challenges that we face. We do not allow ourselves as a city to be victims. We continue to move forward in spite of all of the challenges that even a year like 2020 can bring to us. And that's why I'm so glad that we're able to issue this annual report to the citizens of Tulsa, because it's important for my fellow Tulsans to know all of the work that continues to go on in this city in spite of a global pandemic and a national recession. In looking at this report, you'll see some of the major accomplishments from the last year, just a few of which are truly historic, like landing the largest economic development investment in the history of the city of Tulsa with American Airlines, and that's one of many different economic development projects that moved forward in 2020 in spite of the national recession that our country is going through. We also saw an unprecedented level of capital investment from the citizens of Tulsa. The city of Tulsa has never issued more projects and bids and awarded more bids for capital projects than we did in 2020. And that is going to result in better streets and transformed quality of life for us as Tulsans, including a big project that is particularly special to me, and that is putting water in the Arkansas River. This is something that Tulsans have been talking about and planning for over half a century. We are now moving forward on it, thanks to the citizens of Tulsa approving the funds, and thanks to the team at the City of Tulsa getting that work contracted out and the design work done, and now we're moving forward. Then, of course, we cannot think about moving through 2020 into 2021 without being mindful of the upcoming centennial of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. And in the last year, we made substantial progress in the search for the missing graves of our fellow Tulsans who were murdered on that night in 1921, and that is thanks to the brilliant research team that's been working on this, really putting their heart and soul into this for years, citizen volunteers who have brought everything they have to bear, and decades at this point of volunteer leadership in bringing this about to where we are at this point. And so these are just a few. I mean, I've just told you about like 3 different things that we had underway in the last year. And in spite of that, we have also been laser focused on addressing the global pandemic that is afflicting the world, our country, and of course, our city. The city of Tulsa was the first city in our metro area to issue a safer at home order. I think when we're able to have the benefit of hindsight and to look back, Tulsans will see the early going of this pandemic in the spring of 2020, when we pulled together as a community and sacrificed as a community to give our local healthcare system the time it needed to get protective equipment and staffing and processes in place. That is due to the sacrifices that Tulsans made in that period of time, and we will look back on that as one of the great humanitarian efforts in the history of our city. And so I'm so thankful for Tulsans and the way we pulled together in the last year to address this. First city in the metro, not only to enact an order like that really slowed the spread of the virus in the city, but also the first city in the metro to enact a mask ordinance, which slowed, again, the spread of the virus in this city. We will continue to work moving forward through the coming year with our colleagues at the Tulsa Health Department, with our colleagues in surrounding communities and Tulsa County, and of course at the state of Oklahoma and the national experts in trying to minimize the impact of this pandemic on our city and on our economy while the vaccine is provided to more and more people and hopefully slowly brings this awful pandemic to a conclusion. We are consistently making progress as we move forward as a city, and it's important that you know all of the things that your public servants here at the City of Tulsa are doing to serve you. Lastly, I'm just so thankful for the team that we have at the City of Tulsa that has sacrificed so much, their own safety, their own paychecks in the last year because they love the chance to serve you. And it is an extraordinary organization of extraordinary public servants, and I hope you get a little feel for that in looking at this annual report. Thank you.